Uh-oh, sorry. Hi, my name is Twyla, and as you can see, I got my hands full with two of my little girls. Actually, this is Daisy. She's 13, and this is her puppy that was born in October, so she's not even quite a year yet, and this is Jezebel. And we're just going to tell you a little bit about the extreme importance of the buddy bags. I don't know if anybody's familiar with them, but I actually am because, well, I was served a hot lunch in the North End. And when your life changes and sometimes you just end up at places you're not quite used to, you end up finding somebody that actually will take the time to say, what do you need, or already is supplying that. And the buddy bag was treats and goodies and food for your pets. And I don't just have these two, I have actually an 8-pack. And my life had changed due to a motorhome being taken and not returned. And so you take your dogs to cool off, and then you realize, wow, I don't really have anywhere to go. And the car, as much as it was an expedition, it could fit you, it wasn't comfortable. So next thing you know, you're just kind of camping out. And so I was camping out with my pets. And unfortunately, 2 of them are no longer with us. Due to a pet sitter not doing their job while I ran some errands, but otherwise I have all of them, and 8 is quite a bit, but they're my family. And people's lives change daily in a complete second, and the importance is that you need to realize that people with pets are better people, and no matter what life throws at them, they shouldn't be separated from their pets. I mean, just seriously, I mean, we may have a homeless epidemic or drug epidemic or whatever, but taking away their pets, now I can understand if you're seeing them being mistreated or them not being taken care of, then yeah, step in. But for the most part, that pet is providing a companion, it is protection, and it's keeping that person's spirit up, because if they don't really have a spirit, it's pretty rough out there, to be honest. Maybe some of them like it. I certainly did not. And so I just want buddy bags to continue, and bigger buddy bags for people that need them. And Russ is the gentleman, and Steve that provided them. And you know, they don't have the income to always go and do that, but there was never ever a Monday or Tuesday that I went to that hot lunch and did not get one. And I didn't just get one buddy bag, I usually got 2. And that's just amazing that somebody would take the time to do that out of their own pocket. And we have, quote, resources, or we're supposed to, and you can't get anything. So it's good to have those people with the kind hearts and who are willing to step up and pay it forward. And I probably should talk a lot longer, but
well, that's okay. I'm gonna ask you probably a few questions now.
Okay.
And yeah, and Buddy Bags is my ministry, and it is supported by my entire congregation and church with Bloom in the Desert that I belong to. And most of the donations come from the members, and whatever is left out, Steve and I do pick up. And yes, sometimes it is a little tough, but I also know that that these kids can't go without their food. They need their food, and so that's why I'm doing this video with you, and I think you know that, is we want to do more. We want to be able to do more, and we've set up this fundraising site to be able to start and help maintain a permanent pet food pantry. And we also want to use some of the money we're raising to start a wellness clinic, so that pets like yours, pets like Tom's and others can get the medical attention they need, and have regular visits so they can keep healthy.
Right.
So And I know this
Oh, Daisy,
little
Daisy,
girl,
you're okay. She's the strongest
big
girl I
dude.
know. I mean, she truly, 13, popping out of baby. Oh, goodness. Oh, do you want a treat, Jezebel? They're so protective.
Yeah. So, Twyla, I thank you for your time, but before we go, tell us a little bit about how you landed here in Sky Valley. You went from camping in tents?
Well, I was living in Windy Point, and on September 1st, they're going to sell the house. So I was going to have to move, and I had purchased a motorhome months before, but it was stolen. Well, lo and behold, at the end of August, roughly, I found that stolen motorhome and had taken the proper, route in order to have it back, and was told that it would be returned September 1st, which was a Friday at 9 p.m. at the pilot station. And, 9 p.m. came and went, and 4 days of sitting at the pilot station with dogs in the car and that kind of heat just wasn't working out. And you can have a whole lot of friends and know that everyone, but when it comes to pets and needing a place to stay, it doesn't always pan out so good. And I certainly wasn't going to, so I knew where to take them to cool off. There was running water and away from traffic, and we ended up falling asleep. And when I woke up, there was no water, and I could hear the coyotes, and I had saw some tents down below, and I went down there, and I was woken up at 4 in the morning with flashlights, and thought, uh-oh. And it turned out that I actually knew some of the people, and they are actually on a housing thing that's provided out here, I guess. So they had gotten an apartment and weren't going to be really out at that location. And, well, with as many dogs as I had and living in the desert, you certainly need water, and lots of it. And the water is truly amazing. I mean, it's 68 degrees. It's drinkable. There was the big area, then like a hammock and meditation pond, and the water flows all the way to Indy, and it's quite beautiful. It's just that riffraff tends to come and go, and you're never completely sure who's going to show up, and you certainly can't go to work if you got pets. I mean, yeah, they're out in the desert, and animal control, Mr. Garcia knows me quite well, but I love my pets, and I'm responsible for them, and even though I have an entire desert, doesn't mean that you can just say, hey, I see you later, dogs. So I needed to get my life back, and there was a lot of different things just all of a sudden happening, and I was on Facebook, and this place was mentioned, and I thought, what, $800, for a house? And that can't be true, and everything included. And so I had my mom bring me up here, and, well, furnished, everything, you couldn't pass it up. And the best part was I could have my pets. I mean, nobody lets you have all those pets except for areas like Windy Point, your own motorhome, or out here in Sky Valley. And I truly love it here. I love it. I can't even say the words. I mean, it's the perfect spot. Not too big. It fits all my dogs. You can't find it unless I tell you, and you still might not be able to find it. So it's just ideal. And
so you're hoping that in the wake of having to leave this location, that maybe you can find another location.
Well, I'm hoping
Sky
I don't
Valley.
have to leave here. I mean,
Yeah.
I'm hoping not to. Unfortunately, I was supposed to be going back to work and with the Mormon church that I'm a member of, and it didn't move as fast, because if that was the case, I wouldn't have moved right away. I would have just saved up more and waited a little bit, because February, when I did move, it was still tolerable out there. I mean, you make do with what you have to do anyway. I mean, September was uncomfortable, but I would have banked on it for a little bit longer, just so I knew that things would be okay. And so I'm hoping for a miracle, because, well, my pets and I have been through everything, and this is our place. And unfortunately, other people like to help themselves to things that don't belong to them, and it truly does cause havoc for others. And sometimes change is good, I guess, in a point, but right now it's not looking like very good. So hopefully everything will get done. And if it wasn't for you, because when I did stumble upon that church, which I'd known about, Russ, that day, it was because I hadn't eaten for like 11 days. The dogs were good, but the dogs were not going to just let me walk over there. They were going to follow. And so then when I got there, I was like, oh my goodness, I finally got food. And wait a minute, I got doggy treats and stuff. It was just perfect. And they hadn't had a treat. I mean, their needs were met with food, but they certainly didn't have the little
extras.
Just the little dog bones and the little sausage, little things. You know, there's like 4 different bags inside the buddy bag, so it was perfect. And you always do. I mean, sometimes I'm like, gosh, even if I'm not hungry, I still want to go on Monday and Tuesdays just because I want that buddy bag for my dogs. So you're a godsend. I appreciate it. Thank you.
Well, thank you, Twyla, and thank you for doing this interview today and telling your story. I think more stories like this need to be told. We need to hear these stories because so many of us love our pets' hearts and souls, and we could not imagine being without them. And part of that so many people includes those that are living in poverty, living on the streets, living in motorhomes, living in tents, living in makeshift buildings that they put together, and they do anything for their pets. They lay down their own lives.
I mean, when it first started back in 2012, I didn't quite have this many dogs, but I did have guinea pigs, which nobody ever heard of guinea pigs. Well, I didn't have just one. I had 5, and Officer Lane was dying to meet me because he's like, I gotta get her information in case anything happens. But when they showed up, when we finally bumped into one another, my guinea pigs were grazing over there at the Pizza Hut. And they're supposed to scurry because they're, quote, rodents, part of the rodent family. Not mine. Mine were humanized, just sitting there grazing. So, yeah, no matter what pet you have, it's your pet, it's your family member, and it's a part of you. And
exactly.
So,
well,
thank you.
Thank you for doing this, and we'll see you again on Monday.
I know you will.
All
right. Thank you, Russ.
And thank you, everybody, for joining us for another episode of AfterBloom.
Welcome to the 8-pack.
Hey, tell us a little bit about your dogs, Twyla.
Well, there's 8 of them, and it starts with Old Lady Daisy, who's 13 and will be 14 in November. Then we have Godly, who's the most beautiful, perfect dog. He'll be 6 in October. We just recently got Shiloh, who's actually supposed to be Coyote and German Shepherd mix, but who's to say exactly. And then these are the babies, which are from a few litters. We have BC for Baby Chaz. We have Drew Dot, because he was Drew, but he's got a circle, so he drew a dot. We have Lucy, and we have a Roscoe, who's a little brown one, but he seems to be hiding. And then we have the miracle baby, Jezebel, which is actually Old Lady Daisy's baby. She was born on October 17th, out in the water hole in the little tent. You're gonna sing Jezebel with me? Oh, don't lick the lipstick. I love you so super huge. Oh my goodness, you're looking at me.